Sit. Biggie, sit. Biggie's not as smart. Sit. Ripley, sit. You're not getting it till you sit. Sit. Biggie.
I think he thinks he's sitting.
Sit. No.
He's just
sit.
crouching.
Sit. What are you doing? Sit. I mean, Ripley's lying down. Biggie, sit. Sit. Good boy. That was a half sit. Ripley, sit. Good. Okay. Welcome back to the Woodworks. Very excited today. I've been trying to reminisce and think back to my childhood a lot. Growing up, I grew up in Boston, but I spent a lot of my summers when I was young in Bristol, Rhode Island with my Portuguese side of the family. So I've been trying to think of like all the things we made and what we used to do, and I remember doing a big clam bake with my uncle was like, and my cousin, that was like a big deal, big pot with clams and sausages in there and hot dogs and everything. But I always remember my great-grandfather and my grandfather eating this soup. So I went online and I started researching Portuguese soups. And it hit me that it's Caldo Verde.
Turn off the Food Network and let me show you how the wood works.
Anyway, I don't speak Portuguese, but anyway, sounds like the soup they used to eat, my grandfather and great-grandfather. Let me run down the list of ingredients because this is a little bit different. 2 pounds of Yukon Gold potatoes, 1 onion chopped, 3 cloves of garlic chopped, olive oil, 1 pound of sausage, any kind you want. I'm using like a hot Italian spicy chicken sausage, a bunch of kale, thoroughly washed, which I already bought it washed. 4 slices of turkey bacon or buffalo bacon or regular bacon. I'm using buffalo bacon. 8 cups of chicken stock or vegetable broth, salt and pepper, fresh oregano to garnish. So we're gonna go to the stove. We're gonna get the potatoes boiling in the stock, and then we're gonna saute the bacon and the sausages first, add the onions and garlic, and you'll see where this is going. It's a little bit different, but it's not too complicated, or I probably wouldn't be trying it, so let's take it to the stove. Okay, so Caldo Verde, which Andi just told me, caldo means broth, so it's green broth, is the phrase, I guess. In English, it would be green broth. It's I guess because of the kale, it's, which is, back then, I used to 5-6 years old. For my grandfather, my great-grandfather to be eating kale was pretty healthy back then, before it became trendy. Okay, so I have the broth in my Dutch oven here. So I'm gonna add the potatoes, and then we'll just have that come up to a boil. I don't want this splashing all over the place, so I'm gonna take them in handfuls. Then we got our pan getting hot here. We're gonna add a little olive oil, and a little bit different, we're gonna saute the bacon and the sausage, and then we're gonna add the onion and the garlic, because we want some of the fat from the bacon and the sausage to get in the pan and then flavor the onion and garlic. So let's just let the pan heat up for a minute. You good girl? Ripley! Ripley! All right, let's get the bacon in the pan. And the sausage. And we're just gonna let this cook down for like 10 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna add the onions and garlic. And we're gonna continue to let this cook down for another 10 minutes. So the sausage, bacon, onions, and garlic is done. Gonna set it to the side, and I'm gonna pull this over to this burner so I can have this in the front and just work with it easier. And this I can set to the side, shut that burner off. And now we just have to wait for the potatoes to be done, probably about 15 minutes. Okay, so the potatoes are done. They've been boiling in the stock, which is gonna give them great flavor. I'm gonna take them out of the stock with my strainer here, and gonna mash them and then put them back in the liquid. Okay, so now here's the fun part. We're gonna make this all smooth. Just want to give it a taste to see where it's at. I know we gotta add a lot. Oh man, it already tastes good. Well, that was easier than I thought. I don't know what I was expecting when I was thinking in my head, mash the potatoes, put them back in, but it blends really smooth. I mean, it looks like a, soup broth. I mean, you can see. Okay, so now it's already simmering nice. We're gonna start adding the kale. I have more than enough here. So I'm just gonna start adding and kind of see how it goes, because I know what the recipe called for, a bunch. But I bought one of these bags that's already triple washed. But this is, already looking like the soup that I remember, so I'm pretty happy. So all we need to do is let the kale, simmer for like 5 to 10 minutes. Then we can add the rest of the stuff and it's done. This was a lot easier than I thought, and it looks like what I remember watching, my grandfather and my great-grandfather eat. Okay, so now I'm gonna add my mixture here, the sausages, the bacon, onions and garlic. I don't know if I'm gonna use all of it. We shall see. I wanna see how it looks. And then from there I can also start adding salt and pepper and seeing how it tastes. Oh yes, this looks fantastic. I'm gonna leave it just like that. You could add more of the mixture there, but this looks pretty good. I'm gonna add a little bit more. All right, so basically gonna let this simmer for another 10 minutes maximum, and then we're gonna put it in a bowl and give it a taste. Be right back. All right, Caldo Verde, here it is, Portuguese soup. I'm really, really happy. Gonna get a good bite of everything. Some kale, sausage, broth. So flavorful. It's just, it reminds me like the consistency of like my root vegetable soup. But the kale adds that nice earthy flavor. I'm getting the onions and garlic from the mixture I put in. So good. And I guess you could make this vegetarian if you just didn't do the sausage and the bacon. Right, that was it, right? That was, just didn't do that. And then like, what I would do if I was gonna make it vegetarian is I would also probably blend like the onions and garlic with the potatoes, like maybe mash them up with the potatoes and then put them in and then, you know, blend it, because then you're gonna get more flavor. You get the onions and garlic, and maybe use, you know, a little bit more onion and garlic. It's fantastic. It's bringing back memories of watching my great-grandfather eat this soup. Really fantastic, healthy, because I got, you know, the buffalo bacon is lean, chicken sausage, very healthy, and a well-balanced meal all in one bowl. I'm very proud because this is, you know, was done in my family on the Portuguese side, so try it at home. I'm sure you're gonna love it. I love making soups, so this was a pleasure to make. Try it at home. And I'm out!
Turn off the Food Network and let me show you how the wood works.
Which verde means green. I don't, caldo must mean soup, right? I'm assuming. Anyway.